Howdy, howdy. In this video, we're going over my first Tabletop Simulator battle tournament against Bendless in the Wonders of the First Discord. I recorded just the video because it was kind of a last minute, like the game was about to start, and I thought, oh, I should record this for my YouTube. Can I record this? And I had no setup at all, and I just recorded the video and basically ran Zoom on top of my game in Tabletop Simulator, as well as it being streamed in the Discord. So just got the video, and what I want to do is go over what I was thinking in the game, catch a couple blunders post game, as well as share what my deck's supposed to do and what their deck is supposed to do. I learned a lot from this game, and I don't think I had any business with the result of this game. Now, I did lose the game. There's a lot of things that you can learn. So if you're here just to see a win, sorry, out of luck. But I did lose 3-4, meaning I had control of 3 stones. He had control of 4 stones. Going up against Bendless, who is a powerhouse inside of the Wonders community. As far as the decks that he's making, I think he's one of the most knowledgeable folks about what card combos are out there. So I knew coming into this the kind of deck that he would play. He played a boundless deck in the Shattering, really leaning into board wiping and nullifying a lot of those control things that boundless can bring. So I built a deck kind of knowing I was going to face him first. I built a deck kind of knowing that I was going to be going up against that, but also knowing that I wanted to play Reanimate. And this was really just because it's a low stakes, really just for bragging rights. I wanted to play a deck that I knew I could have fun with. So I built a Reanimate deck. But specifically put a few cards in there to answer the cards that I knew he was going to be playing. And unfortunately, none of those cards showed up. So I played a very unoptimized game. Nothing out of what I could have done really just came down to draws. I did not get my denial to put stuff in my Abyss. I just got stuck with a lot of low-cost cards. But there's still a lot of things that you can learn that I learned going through this again, going through the replay. So we're just going to play the video here, and I'm going to narrate on top of it, and then we'll come back to the end with an after action report. But thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe at any point during the video. If you're like, man, I'm glad to see this, I want to see more. I'll tell you this, I've already got 3 recorded from the tournament. However, I didn't record any audio. And as I played this back to record my narration over it, I thought, man, I really wish I could have had some of the stuff that he was talking about, because I really enjoyed Capricorn's playbacks. I'll put a link to his channel down below. Really, really fun. But also, I just wanted to share kind of what I was doing in the game and just didn't get it with audio. So if that's going to be a deal breaker for you, totally understand if you back out now. But if you still want to watch the game and hear my narration, my commentary on top of it, happy to do that. In fact, you know what? I kind of wish I had Bendless on here to give his commentary as well. So anyways, let's go into it. All right, so starting here with my first hand draw, Charging Pulpo, Remains of Barnabas, Crystal Mouse. We've got 2 lands, Necropolis of the Durned, and what I'm looking for here really is cheap cards. So what card, is there any cards that I can't play in the long term? I don't want to hold on to those cards, mainly because I don't have a lot of discard. The only way I can discard is if I overdraw. And I'm still pretty early into piloting this deck, so I haven't quite gotten to discard. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the summoning platform, and I think here I'm just considering, do I want to mulligan the Charging Pulpo? Because I already have one, and I decided to mulligan it, probably because I have the Remains of Barnabas, so I'll play that first, and then the Charging Pulpo. The other one, I'm really looking for that Remains of Barnabas Pulpo combo. That sounds like a band name. Remains of Barnabas Pulpo combo. And we got 3 lands starting, plus Baron the Unstable. So Baron the Unstable I'm still a little unsure of, and you'll actually see why in this game. So we go ahead and draw off around, and hey, look at that. Here's the second Remains of Barnabas that I really could have used. So now it is, I can't remember who's going first. I think he's going first. Yeah, he's going first. He plays a land. All right, and so I'll go first, and I'll play a land. So basic beginning here with the land plays on turn 1. And turn 2, he plays another land. Looks like he's using Wave Whisper Bay there, I think is what it is. And so he's going to look at the top card of his deck and then put it back. Or put it at the bottom. I don't think I caught that part on screen. And for my action here, I put out a Remains of Barnabas. Not tapped, that was just the Tabletop Simulator trying to throw it in someone else's hand. And this is really what I want the deck to do. So I'm hoping he's not going to play another Wonder here, and I can go ahead and take the Stone for my first realm. I did quite a bit of research on Bendless and the deck that he played at the Shattering, and I noticed it was very land heavy. So I figured he was going to be playing a lot of lands early. So a little bit of what I tried to structure with this deck is to get some stones early, and then just try to hold on to those. It was really a really heavy start for me, and so I was hoping to get that first stone there. So here I'm trying to decide: do I want to play another Barney? Do I want to just play a land? I decided to draw. I think so I can try to get some overdraw, and I didn't want to put any of those other lands out. You put those other lands out, the Twilight Marsh and the Witch Warden. Some people can start, make you sacrifice it or nullify it or whatever. So I don't want to get those good lands out too early. So he's gonna harvest his one of his lands there. I think is that the Clear Sky, and sack his mouse. So early on, he's getting an action back, and he's getting 2 energy and drawing 2. So he's got a pretty good setup here, and I think I'm really just trying to decide if I want to harvest for an action or if I just want to pass. And he goes ahead and passes. So I guess he was trying to do the overdraw, or just at least fill up his hands, because I don't remember if he discarded anything. I do draw the Market of Lost Wonders, and I basically draw almost all of my good lands. I still have a Clear Sky in the deck, but this is kind of a decision I have to make. Do I want to go ahead and play out some good lands? He goes first. He plays that Endress Citadel. Great card to bring out early. Here I am trying to decide, well, do I want to play a land or do I want to try to get the stone? Go ahead and put out a Barney. I'll either attack with him if the realm doesn't fill up, or I'll put a Charging Popo out to sacrifice it if I want. So, that's a pretty easy thing to decide here. And there he's going to put, I don't remember that card's name, but the one where you have to pay to attack, which stinks because that kind of ruins that plan. Lightforge. There you go. So I got to figure out, okay, well, is it worth paying to attack and get the stone, or do I want to try to put out some more cards? I could also put out Crystal Mouse. That basically, and if I sack it, that gives me the energy to pay to attack, essentially. And I think that's what I do. Don't have the Foul Wind link, so I have to pay full price for Crystal Mouse. And I go ahead and put it in Realm 1. That gives me a little bit more power in Realm 1 if he puts something out there. And I don't think it makes sense for him to put anything in Realm 2 because I'm not going to attack, probably. And he goes ahead and ruins my day and plays another Lightforge in Realm 1. And now I got to pay 4 energy if I want those stones. Go ahead and sack Mouse. Go ahead and draw 2. And another, just crazy. It's not a land, but I get another powerhouse card. Phoenix Quill. And by the way, since I bought my Phoenix Quill last week, I now have all the cards to let me play this deck in person. So I'm very excited for that. So I pay my energy and I attack in Realm 1 to go ahead and take the stone. The way I see it, I'm investing 2 energy now for the potential to get 4 energy in the future if he doesn't take the first stone. Personally, as well as a personal preference, I always prefer to have the first Realm Stone, just because it's a little easier. If he takes 3 and I take 3, well, I win the tie because I control it in Realm 1. So that's always a preference there, because sometimes a lot of games I just have to end when I own 3 stones. And so he's tapping and getting more actions, and I'm like, man, I guess I'll tap this. Now, a good thing about tapping with Necropolis of the Darned is, something did die. Or no, that's the one that I draw. There's another one that if, Twilight Marsh, I think, if someone dies, when you harvest it, you get to get 2 actions. And that works great with Crystal Mouse, because Crystal Mouse is always going to die. But Necropolis of the Darned, tap, harvest it, reveal the top card. If it's an Umber theme, draw it. So in this deck, it is a little bit of a coin toss. I think it's around 70% Umber theme, so it's still in my favor, but it's not a guarantee every time. 60% of the time, it works every time. And I kind of knew Bendless was going to be playing a lot of lands. He played a lot of lands at his Shattering. Did I already say that? Played a lot of lands at a Shattering deck, and so I figured he might be... I like to overplay lands too. So I figured he'd be bringing a lot. And last action of the turn is to play that Twilight Marsh. If I tap it now, I'll get 2 actions out of it. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I'm also holding 7 cards, so if I can overdraw, or am I holding 8 cards? That's just more cards that can go into the Abyss to set me up for later. And I decided to go ahead and tap the Twilight Marsh to give me the 2 actions. Looking back at the game, I do think this is a bit premature. I think I should have just let him continue playing out, just to let him build his board up a little bit more, because right now I'm still kind of playing in the dark. I'm still just shooting for the first 2 realms. Again, trying to get that early game action here. Also, the mid game is very important for me in this deck, because I have quite a few power cards that are going to be between 4 and 6 energy. So having the 4 energy going into turn 3 is very, very helpful for me. So that's something that I always try to, that early game that really helps me get ready for the mid game. And for my last action, I go ahead and decide to draw, because I think I can get a couple more things. Well, first of all, if I discard the Remains of Barnabas, Barnabas comes back before you discard at the end of turn. So he should go in the graveyard, or excuse me, the Abyss, but he's not going to come back this turn, because the round end happens before the discard. But he'll come back next turn. I shouldn't discard the Charging Pulpo, because I'm going to play him. The only reason I might is just so I can get that surprise, bring Barnabas back and then Charging Pulpo the next turn. And I do decide to go ahead and discard it. I guess there's other cards that I want to play next turn. Maybe fill up for Flying Suzzur. Maybe I can bring it back with Carvo. That might be what I'm thinking. Combo it. So Carvo into Charging Pulpo, which then sacks Barney. And then Barney comes back at the end of turn. That's probably what I'm thinking here. And I finally draw Wave Whisper Bay, so I can get that orbital link. Now I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. And I got 5 energy to play with, so there's plenty of things I can do. And it's one of those times where you really have to decide which lane you want to go to. And here's I'm flipping to see to play Wave Whisper Bay. I used to, before I knew how to just look at the top card, I would just say, okay, I'm looking at my top card, don't look. And I would flip it over. But now you can right click and search, and then just press 1. Right click search, and then click on the options that drop down 1. And that will show you the top card. And it only shows you the top card. And he puts his first out. So he's definitely playing multiple colors. Well, yeah, I think, yeah, because we see the Boundless and the Thalwyn, so I knew that. And now I just need to decide, do I want to play the Caribou or do I want to maybe play the Flying Suzzur? I don't have a whole lot of Flying Suzzur, and I don't need to worry about that Temple Guardian just yet. But if I can play the Charging Polpo, that'll help me defend one of the stones as well. And right now would be the good time to play the Carvo, because I can play the Carvo into Realm 3 and bring back the Polpo into 1. But I'm going to go ahead and put the Usurper into Realm 2, or excuse me, Realm 1, because that gives me the opportunity to destroy the Stone Temple Guardian and not have to worry about that. Now I still have to pay to attack, so looking back, I think this is a blunder. I think I should have played Carvo in 3, return Charging Polpo to Realm 1, sacrifice Barnabas. That gives me 8 power in Realm 1. That's a pretty good defense against what he might put out there. And now here's where the deck really starts to screw me. This is really my first time going up against a heavy Nullify deck, and I just didn't know how to pilot against it. Even with this same deck, I think I could perform much better. But yeah, Feline Entity of Dreams is a real big problem because I need to target things. And while I do have some early energy, I don't have to worry about it too much. It is going to be a huge problem later on. So I think the play was to do Carvo and then bring Polpo back. Now, Feline also has a huge power. I mean, the card's already insane, but to give it 6 power as well is just bonkers. And it's only a rare. That's the craziest thing. Feline Entity Dreams, man, that card would get errated in any other game. Yeah, that's going to be a problem card for a long time, especially because I think you can run 3. So now I kind of have to decide, well, if I play Carvo in 3, bring Polpo back, and then sacrifice Carvo, that gives me a positive over the Feline. But instead I opt to just play a land, just a little bit of a holding game. And look at that. He's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. We're not even to realm 4. And for his last action, he'll take the stone. So now he's getting some energy. And on to Realm 4. And now Bendless will go first. And I'm going in with 6 energy. That's a pretty good number for this deck. Problem is I have pretty weak cards in my graveyard, and I haven't pulled any power cards. This is where knowing how to really draw into your hand comes into play, and version 2 of my deck I think will be a lot more consistent. When you watched games 3 and 4 that I'll load in the next couple weeks, you'll see that I mill through my deck pretty efficiently because I kind of figured out the piloting. This is my first, I was even nervous too because, you got to go against Bendless your first game. Come on. I think right now is when my heart finally stopped beating so fast. But really trying to figure out, do I want to play lands? Do I want to draw? And try to draw into something better. At least with Wave Whisper Bay, I can kind of at least bury something that I don't want. And there's the 3rd Charging Polpo. So even though I have all the Barneys out, I need the Polpo. And I didn't capture what he did, so unfortunately I can't see, and I'm gonna go ahead and have to draw into my hand. Now I love Crypt Reach Prosvents. It really goes well with this deck. Give me some denial, and I can try to hit some Eternals. You'll see in one of my future games, I had a great Eternal game. A lot of stuff hit the board because of Eternal. This one, man, I could not mill and draw into the right cards. But that said, I'm still happy with the way the game ended. So there he goes again, another Indra's Citadel. If you one of the things I'm trying to game theory is, how many lands can you put in your deck? Because they are almost like a zero resource thing. So there we go, denying Nocturna, which is fine, but I need a reforged summoning platform and a Divine Bloodbearer, which he's only good if he comes from your hand. So milling those or just putting those two legendaries in the abyss really hurt. I can bring the legendary back with Witch Warden, but I need to fill the abyss. And the Nocturna I can bring back with Witch Warden or Gorash, or is that the bard name? The Grailheart? Is it Grailheart or Gorash? I always confuse the two. Or I can bring it back with Reforged Summoning Platform. Problem is I haven't drawn into any of those. So, all right, he plays in the Realm 4, so he's probably going to take that stone. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. Out of all the things about this deck, I think the lands I've really got. I'm really happy with the lands that I have. So any tinkering I'm going to do, I'm pretty much not going to touch the lands. Several people, when I play them with this deck, they're like, that's interesting. Umbrathine and Thalwind. And I'm like, is that really interesting? Because to me, that sounds like two things that go really well hand to hand. And I hate that I'm sitting here with 6 energy, so he's going to attack in Realm 4 and take the stone. I'm trying to think, what can I do with 6 energy? And I pass. And I think that's a blunder. I think I should have played something to grab some energy or grab some actions and play something. And of course, he's going to go first because he just won the last battle. And he's still not developing too much on the board. I think his early games could do a lot more. Now he does play the Frostfire. That's going to really get him some card draw. That's a card that I would love to have in my deck, but I haven't figured out card draw. Now I think the question I need to answer is, does the Frostfire Citadel, or what is that? The Throne Frostfire Citadel, or is it something else? Does that work if you use your action to draw? Or does it only work if a Thalwind makes you draw? I can't remember. It might be a good fit for the deck. And you always get nervous when they start clicking. Energy down. You always get a little bit nervous. I think his deck is very nicely optimized to get big power cards with low energy. Because, he's got the Feline, which is 6. He's got that other card in the middle. Or no, that's not the card I was thinking of. I was thinking of the draw an additional card. But no, that one gives, when you draw, all other wonders, your Thalwind wonders get +1/+1. Or not +1, just +1. So that wouldn't really work in my deck. But yeah, so he's got some low cost, high power cards coming out, and they do some really good things for him on top of that. I think that is highly optimized. And so now I'm thinking, well, maybe I got to bring out the Carvo. But he's not going to bring out any of the good cards. Carvo is great for bringing out Pulpo, bringing out Mouse for a second time, bringing out Suzzur. Those are the ones that I really want to hit with Pulpo. I'm sorry, not Pulpo, Carvo. And This is where I realized I've had a Barney sitting in my graveyard that should have been out this whole time. I don't think it's a game changer because I gotta pay for the Light Forge in the first 2 realms, which he didn't even take the stones, but it wouldn't give me any power for realms 3 or 4. So, now I'm thinking, okay, well maybe I can Caravo and then bring back the Pulpo that can give me the power to get stone 3, and that might be what I do here. I'm going to drop it into realm 4, but I should bring back the Pulpo into 3. So a pretty good little combo there. And he does the set sail to take my Pulpo to realm 1. So it still gives me more power in realm 1, which I'm fine, but I'm not going to be able to take that 3rd stone. So it's not going to give me a net positive stone. And I still have to pay to attack. He still got the Stone Temple Guardian, but yeah. It also does re-trigger the on arrival. So I have to sack the Remains Barnabas, which isn't too bad because I can move Barney somewhere else, but he's only 1 power, so he's not a game changer a lot of the time. Really, he's more of a nuisance, but also he just comes out early and gives me some flexibility in the first realm or 2. And we'll go with the Flying Suzzer. Who are we going to try to kill? Flying Suzzer is such a great card. And so I'm not sure, did I not have enough to... I think I just gave him -5. But the good thing is it will fly around. And thinking about it now, I wish I had had a little bit more patience. 1 more card in the Abyss, and I could have gotten rid of the Feline. Now I would have to target it. I think does that trigger the target? Yeah, because you have to put -5 counters. I don't know if we caught that actually. Did I pay energy to put that down and put the 5 counters? I don't know. I have the energy. I don't have the actions, but I have the energy. Now I tap Cryptic Province for an action. And probably so I can go ahead and attack, take the stone. Yep, he's going to attack in 5 to take the stone. And I will probably attack here. Yep, attack here in realm 4 to take the stone. And at this point, I'm pretty happy with what's happening here in the mid game, but as we go in the late game, I'm a little nervous because he's got all those lands. And now he's going to play Thought Tempest. So at this point, I need to decide, do I want to pass or do I want to try to take another action? But knowing he's got so many lands and he's going to have so many actions, I want to try to save as many actions as I can for that last round. So, I probably could have done a little bit more. I could have brought out the Phoenix Quill and try to bury these cards, but I also know I want to play the Witch Warden later. I'm just not getting a lot of denial, so I can really pump up for that Witch Warden, which that stinks. This deck is not going the way. I think if I replayed this game, I think I could have done a little bit better, but I don't know if I had winning draws against what Bendless does. And he really comes back in the late game, so really pay attention to what he's doing here, because I think this is going to be a little bit of the meta going into the fall. Now, Call of the Stones, if it releases before the tournaments, that could change things, but even though this isn't the deck that he won the Shattering with, I think this is going to be a pretty similar deck that you're going to see. I'd imagine at least 40%. And again, imagine being the keyword. 40% of people are going to be running a deck similar to what he's playing here. Going land heavy, really focusing on turn 7. So you could really twist that around with Blazafel, which could fit in this deck, because I can bring it back. Reanimate it pretty easily if I can get it in the graveyard, or excuse me, the Abyss. Man, that's gonna be a hard habit to break. And going into turn 6 here with 9 energy is nice, but I just don't have the cards to really take advantage of that. The extra energy gives me some cushion for Feline, or for attacking in realms 1 and 2, but there's nothing too much right now. That I need to use that extra energy for. So since I'm going first, let's go ahead and just throw out a Crypt Reach Province, see what I can get in the graveyard. Now, Word of Serendipity is a tough one to get rid of, because that one really could have changed the game for me. I remember thinking back, man, if I did not deny that card, this would have been totally different. Word of Serendipity lets you counter a spell if you discard a card from your hand. That helps me get a few things into the Abyss if I have a larger hand. And again, early piloting this deck, I didn't have my card draw down. In fact, I think in a future battle report, you'll see that I have too small of a hand. Go ahead and play the Witch Warden. I don't think I fill up my Abyss enough to fire it off, though. Yeah, I'm nowhere close. I need stuff to die, be sacrificed, denied into it. I'm pretty happy with how full my board is. And at this point of the game, I'm feeling pretty, not confident, but comfortable. I feel like the only thing is I don't have a lot of reactivity. I'm very proactive, but not very. I don't have much to react with, and so I have a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of card draw going into turn 7. He's going to play another behemoth. Into realm 6. Those things are tough to deal with. He doesn't have a lot of wonders out, but man, the ones he does, they got some power. You know, I'm over here rinkin' dinkin' with these remains of Barnabases, and charging Polpo is not where I need it to be. That set sail really, really hurt. Also sitting in with no actions and 9 energy. That is very unfortunate for me. That is that is bad action economy on my part. Now I do have these actions queued up inside the lands, and he'll attack in realm 6 to take the stone. So, you know, at this point, this game state I'm happy with, because again, 3 stones. Winning with the first realm, I'm happy with that. Turn 7 really is the differentiator, and you'll see just how he kind of. I'm in a very losing position. I'm happy with my board state, minus the Abyss, but the fact that I only have 5 cards in the Abyss is just not ideal. Not ideal at all. And the other problem is all my denial cards are sitting in my deck. Now, this is a very tough, so all things considering my hand, my Abyss, still happy with the board state. And going into turn 7, last turn, let's see how he screws me over. He's also got 10 energy. And here's screw number 1. He plays the Zephyrus. I knew it was going to come out. You're going to see it. It never fails. You get more than 10 energy. It's the last turn. They're playing Thalwind. You're going to get a Zephyrus. It just never fails. So this isn't something that you can't come back from, but it does hurt quite a bit. The good thing is I do have Phoenix Quill, so I can get 3 of that energy back. Now, Summon Crushing Rock, it's not too helpful in the 7th turn, because your Remains of Barnabases are not coming back. Now, Summon Crushing Rock could fill my Abyss a little bit if I do it in Realm 4. That'll put 3 more into my Abyss. And I already have the stone, so I don't mind sacrificing those. But I'm going to go ahead and draw so I can try to get some more information. Wave Whisper Bay is going to get me just some more information. Now, this is where I'm put in a really vulnerable position because now he's sitting on all those lands. He can take all those to just draw the game out. And now that he's controlling 4 stones, he can just sit there and pass and make me run myself up. So this is where I get put into a really, really weak position because he can just sit there and pass. He's got all these actions, and he can basically just make me run up all my actions. This is something that I've learned is very important going into Realm 7. If you can control a majority of the stones, that puts you in a power position because you can just sit there and pass all day. So I'm going to try to harvest. I don't like harvesting multiple cards at once. I do prefer to draw out the game. But since he's got all those actions and he's just going to keep passing, I'm gonna have to try to get some actions up myself and try to draw quite a bit. And more lands. I'm okay with that. Because the land is just going to give me a delayed draw. Problem is I don't have much that I can really get out there. So let's just play another Necropolis of the Durned. And I'm also trying to just spread my lands out because I don't know what he has as far as land control. I don't think he does, but just try to spread them out. And again, that's another card, I get to draw it, but Blackthorn Banshee does not help me in turn 7. It's a great card to have early. But that's not going to help me in turn 7. So I'll draw again. I get Autumn Essence. Great card. I don't have the energy to play it. And I don't have the full graveyard either to really play it. So this deck is not firing off the way I need it to. So I have not much to do but draw. And now I get the Gorash. Great card to have, great card to play. I don't have the energy to play it because he stole my energy. Another way that Zephrys really screwed me over. So as I look at my Phoenix Quill here, that gives me, I've got a few things that I could get the energy for and bury to try to draw a new hand. 5 is still not great, but a lot of these cards aren't doing me any good. So I could draw into 5 better cards, maybe something more that'll give me some denial. And I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice it for the energy. But I'm not going to sacrifice it. I'm not going to bury my hand. I guess I want to play that Gorash, try to bring something back. But for now, I'm just going to try to draw out, see what he's going to do. And again, he could just keep passing. I think he's more curious than anything. I think he's like a cat, toying with its kill. Because there's no way that Bendless should be doing all this stuff. But he is. He plays the Quadratusk to beef up that realm and possibly take that stone. Really think I should have buried my hand. I'm happy to have the Autumn, I'm happy to have the Gorash, but the Gorash is not as powerful as I think it could be. I think it would have been better to go ahead and just bury my hand. So I can destroy something. I'm going to try to destroy the feline, but oh ho ho, I have to pay to destroy the feline. And I don't have the energy to pay that. So again, I'm really, really screwed. That Zephyrus really did a number on me. So I can't destroy it. I can try to bring a non-legendary wonder back, but I don't have much to bring back. Just a mouse and a Caden Wind Whisper. And Caden's fine. It'll give me 2 actions. So I kind of have to decide, do I want to get 2 actions or 2 energy? Oh, I thought it was, I thought Gorash, as I'm narrating over the replay, I thought Gorash was I can only bring back a non-legendary wonder. But I'm going to bring back a Divine Bloodbearer. Gives me good power to take the stone in 6. I also have the power to take it in 7. But I don't get to discard my hand. I'm not playing it. Divine Bloodbearer is specifically on play. Discard your hand. I would kind of like to discard my hand to bump up my Abyss for Witch Warden, but it's still not going to give me a whole lot. It's only going to give me 8 cards total in my Abyss, so it doesn't make a too big of a difference. And so this is me. I can't get rid of that feline, unfortunately. And I don't know if he was doing the math in his head to realize, if I have a Gorash and I destroy the feline, it's going to take 10 energy, or actually, I guess 9 energy. And sacrificing Phoenix Quill only gives me 8 energy total, so that's 1 short of being able to destroy that feline if I had a Gorash. If he was doing that math in his head, kudos. Now this one really hurts. So here's the God's Eye release. my first time going up against it. And that's really going to suck because that's going to banish the 2 ways that I could have taken some stones there. Oh, it's also going to take away my Great Usurper in Realm 1. And it's also going to get rid of my Caribou. That God's Eye release is a tough one to play against. And again, my Ward of Serendipity in my Abyss is one of my counters to that, but it's in my Abyss. I need it out on the board, but I denied it, which is very unfortunate. So just for power's sake, I'm going to play a Blackthorn so I can try to take that stone in Realm 7. But even if I do take it in Realm 7, he's going to attack and take the stone in Realm 4. And at this point, I'm running out of actions. The other problem is with Twilight Marsh, the primary and secondary cards are banished. They're not hitting the Abyss. So that doesn't help me with Twilight Marsh and getting that extra action. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to eat it and harvest Witch Warden for the action. And I'm probably going to have to draw and just hopefully I can get something to draw. I do wish I had the Baron the Unstable. I do wish I could have played that. Because that does have a tap deny. And I'm not sure if I just forgot about that in this game or what, to be honest. We'll tap Twilight Marsh as well, and we'll harvest that. Nothing died this turn, so I'm only going to get 1 action. Again, I'm playing a very unoptimized game with this deck here. And he's going to throw out another land. Look at that fool. And I'm just going to have to draw. I do get the Crystal Mouse, but it takes an energy to play, even with the Thalwyn Link. And I just don't have a great way to get a stone in those inner realms. And so I'm just going to have to draw, and that gives me nothing. Nothing that I can really work with. And at that point, I'm all tapped out. And so he's just going to have to take the game. He's going to have to do it. He's going to have to win, whether he wants to or not. And I think there was a lot more that he could have done. I don't know if he was holding back or if he just wanted to see more of what my deck was going to do. Again, out of several games now, I'm recording this a few weeks after this game was played now, and I've got a lot more games under my belt. I can tell you, it wasn't just an inexperienced thing. It was also, this was just a very unoptimized draw. Even with the potentials that you could have, I just couldn't do it with this game. So, yeah, let's go into some of the post-battle thoughts. So to kind of wrap it up, and by the way, thanks for watching all this with me and sticking around to the end. Overall, I'm actually more disappointed now that I've gone through the video. The deck just did not perform the way it was. I'm actually more excited now for you to watch the next 2 videos because those did perform much better. And they were a lot more fun to play, and I think honestly they were a lot more fun to play against as well. This was round 1 of the tournament. Round 2, I didn't record. I'm not sure if I just forgot or if the recording messed up, but I don't have round 2, so we'll go into round 3. But overall, I think this kind of deck that you're seeing is maybe where some of the meta is going to go. Fewer wonders. 3 things I think I'm going to see. Fewer wonders with larger power. Number 2 is more nullification being used to control your actions. I'm noticing in wonders there's a lot of potentially getting in the way. There's no immediate counters. There's no you do this, so therefore I'm going to do this. There's a lot of if you do this, you're going to have to deal with this. So I think there's going to be a lot of that. So you got to have a few different ways to control things with your deck. And I think we're going to see lands in the heavier end. I haven't seen a land light deck, but I think we're going to see a lot more land heavy decks. I think Tinsman said between 12, 13, and 14 lands per deck is about what you should expect, or about what he recommends. But I think a lot of decks are going to run no less than 15. Because again, you get a land, well, you just play it, harvest it, and draw another card. Plus with the harvest, you get some bonus with that. So essentially playing a land is getting your action back to do something else later, and I think that's going to be drawing a lot. Now, that last one I'm a little less sure of, but that seems to be where a lot of, I think, places are going. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Trust me, the next couple videos are going to be a lot better, but I appreciate you sticking around. Anyways, like and subscribe and all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you all in the next video. Adios.